All right, cool. So you got a hand for us?
Yeah, it's not really a strategy call.
Oh, that's right. Yes, 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 yes. I remember. This is a non-hand call, Jack. This is a non-hand
Yeah.
call. This is an interesting one. So tell us what happened here in this call.
So you want to just start from preflop and go through the whole thing, or you want to just start at showdown?
Yeah, tell us the hand because I think it play. Actually, tell us the hand because it's an interesting river spot too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So it's 1-2. I'm 600 effective, 8-handed.
Okay.
In the main villain in the hand, who I'll be heads up with. He is a good regular. We're both in our mid-20s. And this is at a card room in Austin, Texas. It's a new card room, so it's kind of like a home game vibe. There's a lot of weak players there and just a few decent rigs.
What's it called?
It's called Pecan Street Social. It's actually the only card room, like actually downtown on 6th Street.
Wasn't Bullets downtown? Bullets?
I'm not exactly sure where Bullets is or was, honestly, but this is like right on the main drag, like right where all the like clubs are. It's like above a dueling piano bar.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, pre-flop, I'm in the hijack with 6-7 of clubs.
Okay.
And there's 2 limpers to me, which is common for this game, so I raised to $12.
So 2 limpers and you raised to $12. This is interesting. I didn't know that this was played out here because I always wondered about bullets. Like, so this game must be unbelievably recreational. Are these like? Is this like a cruise boat game almost? I don't know if you ever played poker on a cruise.
I
Like
haven't, but I've heard about it. But yeah, it's about that soft. It's about as soft as
it comes.
Yeah, exactly.
So 2 limpers and you decide to raise it up with the 7-6 of clubs, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
I would be going a little more value-y, but okay.
And I get 3-bet by the button.
Okay.
To 50.
Button 3 bets to 50. Again, this isn't strategy, but button 3 bets to 50. Okay. Yep.
And then everyone folds back to me.
Okay.
And since we're so deep, I decide to make the call.
Hero calls at 600 effective at 1-2. So hero 7-6 of clubs, limps raises to 12. Button 3 bets to 50. Hero calls. Okay.
Yep. The flop becomes 9-6-3, 2 clubs.
9-6-3, 2 clubs. Hero with 7-6 of clubs. So you flop a pair and a flush draw?
Yep.
Okay.
And I check it to the villain who checks back.
So it goes check, check. Okay.
And then on the turn, pairs the board. It's another 9, red 9.
All right. So the turn here is the 9 of diamonds. Again, 9-6-3, 2 clubs here with 7-6 of clubs. Got 3-bet, check, check. Turns a 9. Okay. Yeah.
And I decide to bet here for a little over half pot, 60 into what's like
100. Okay.
Yeah.
And button calls?
And he calls. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the river is another 3, a red 3. So double paired board, which at the time is something like I was kind of totally checked out. Like I totally forgot like a lot of his bluff catchers here would be ace high.
Yes. So this is why I wanted to write this handout here too, even though this is a non-hand call here too. Whenever you're in a situation, especially like low stakes, right? So we're in a situation with low stakes where a guy 3-bets you and now doesn't bet the flop. That's almost never, the lower stakes that it is, the less it ever is an overpair. You know, as you move up, you know, guys will check overpairs like in certain spots. I'm not saying that they're going to do that on this particular board, but you know, if you're playing like 1-2 in a super recreational game, people want to protect with their overpairs. They're never ever checking. So when it goes check, check, that's a shit ton of ace king, jack, like in my mind, or ace king or ace queen. You bet 60 on the turn. Maybe he's bluff catching you because there's like front door clubs, right? But you have a 6, so he calls. And now the pot's 220, river's with 3, so it's 9-6-3, 9-3, double paired board. I would say, like, and maybe I'll make this into another sort of small stakes thing. I would say that you get a lot of value at the micro live stakes. Micro live stakes being 1-2, get a lot of value by figuring out when your opponents have ace high in spots like this and making a bet with any pair to get called. So with this action, this is a bet 100% of the time here for value because we know the guy's never checking really overpairs at the stakes.
Yeah, and that was something I totally neglected at the time. And I had kind of planned to turn my hand into a bluff here, regardless of what came down, almost regardless of what came down on the river. Obviously, you know, high cards not going to be good for me. But the double paired board was something I failed to take note of at the moment.
Well, you mean you forgot that you had a pair?
I did forget that I had a pair.
On the turn, too?
Yes. Well, I forgot that I had a pair on the river.
Right.
I thought that one pair was going to be no good, and I thought I needed to hit a 6, a 7, or a club to be good.
Just because he called the turn.
Just because he called the turn. It was a bad read at the moment.
Right. But because remember what I said, he didn't bet the flop, so I'd be happy. But okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so river's a 3. Uh-huh.
Anyway, I bet 100.
Okay.
I think I'm bluffing, especially, I don't know, especially because he tanks so long, but maybe I also got a bad read on that too. You know, the long tank should have been, in my mind, lots of ace high. But anyway, he tank calls. And when he does call, I snap muck the hand, not realizing I had the best hand. But as the pot's being pushed towards him about 30 seconds later, I say, wait, what did he call me with? And he flashes me an ace. And then the table says ace high. Somebody at the table says ace high.
Uh-huh.
2 pair with ace high. And I say, I folded a better hand, which I legitimately forgot that I had a pair of 6s at some point.
Okay.
when he was in the tank, I legitimately thought I forgot I had a pair of 6s.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, I point out that I have the better hand, and the board was still out there. Everything's still out there except for the pot, which is now in a stack.
Okay.
And my cards were also pretty firmly in the muck, right? So the ruling.
So before you go on, so when you said you snap mucked, right? Like you bet 100, you forgot you have a pair, he calls, you snap mucked. Like you just released your hand at the dealer, right?
Yep.
And then what did the dealer do?
I believe she washed the cards into the muck.
Okay.
Although when she was explaining to me that the cards can't be retrieved, she lifted up like the first 3 cards of the muck.
Yep.
And they weren't there. But then the next 2 cards were my exact hand, which I had already called out. I had said 6, 7 of clubs is my hand.
Mm-hmm.
So she takes 3 cards off the top of the muck, shows them to me. I'm like, nope. And then the next 2 cards are 6, 7 of clubs, and they're touching together. And anyway, the ruling was that they're not retrievable.
Mm-hmm.
But my confusion was, you just retrieved them. So how are they not retrievable? I had the best hand at showdown. I didn't say fold. I just threw my cards away.
Well, are you new to the game? And I don't mean that like in any type of insulting way. Like new to like playing live poker?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So yeah, when you some people think that the muck is like an all-in like absolute dead zone, meaning like if the cards touch the muck, the hand's always dead. That's actually not the case, but I want to bring it back to basics. Like your hand is mucked. Like you released your hand and she put it into the muck, like your hand is dead. Part of the game is that you have to read your hand and table your hand. Table your hand means like you have to physically turn over your cards face up on the table for you to have a winner. So if you don't realize you have the winner and you release your hand. Now, the interesting part of this though, Jack, is that like you can like say you release your hand and then like the dealer goes to like grab your hand. You can stop the dealer sometimes from like scooping it in, and then it kind of gets a little bit hazy. But when the dealer takes your cards and then puts them into the muck, like your hand's dead. It doesn't matter if you had the best hand or not. It's just really kind of part of the rules of poker. And part of that is just because I know that you said you called it out, but they don't know what you actually had. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. Fair enough. I agreed with the decision made in the moment. And even into the following week, I agreed with the decision. But then there was a small part of me that thought maybe it was the wrong call because I heard you say on one of your most recent uploads that about that scummiest angle ever video, you said it's a common misconception in poker. The cards are almost always retrievable. And I really wanted to know what you meant by that. But what I was talking about when the cards are almost always retrievable is usually when there's some sort of action taken by the dealer in mistake, meaning that somebody is not going to fold their hand in, and then the dealer takes their hand and puts them towards the muck. So if you don't fold your hand, like say your hand wasn't protected and then all of a sudden like you didn't do anything and the dealer scooped your cards in, but you didn't fold. If those cards get like pushed against the muck, like they're touching the muck, if you say, wait, I didn't fold my hand, and then what you would do is call the floor over and tell the floor what your hand was, and that you didn't fold your hand, and the dealer actually mistakenly took your cards, most of the time, the cards are going to be retrievable if those are your 2 cards.
people think that like if the cards touch the muck, it's automatically dead. I think it's can't be further from the truth. And I saw it happen a lot at the World Series this year too. Like the goal with poker rules is actually to not have a hand that wasn't supposed to be mucked if it's retrievable to actually get shown down. Your case is different though. Like you're actually releasing your hand. You're throwing your hand away because you didn't read the board. Your hand is dead. The only hope for you was stopping the dealer from actually putting your cards in the muck. Just as a little twist to this though, because I know you're new to poker and I've talked about this many times. If you do table your hand, right? Like say you did turn your hand over and the dealer made a mistake and she actually pushed the pot to the guy who lost the hand, that needs to be corrected. And even when you're not in the hand, you're actually supposed to speak up and say, wait a minute, this guy has the winning hand. Like even if you're not in the hand, and some people think that's crazy, like stay out of the hand, it's like not your money. No, you're actually supposed to correct the dealer and actually have the pot pushed the right way. But that's only if the hand is tabled, meaning that if you turn your cards face up on the felt, which is a legally sort of tabled hand and the dealer is making a mistake. So I hope that clears things up for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I figured it was the right call. I just thought it would be an interesting call in nonetheless.
All right. Thanks for it, man. Appreciate it.